everybody, my name is Amber Reich and welcome to Beautifully Haunted. On this page we're going to be doing some makeup, talking about ghost stories, reincarnation, out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, just a little bit of everything. So I am so excited to have you guys here. Let's get on to the spooky ooky stuff. All right guys, let's get started. Okay, so this is my first video. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so if you guys have any ghost stories, send them to me. I'm going to be doing videos like this every single week, and I want to say your guys' stories, my own personal stories. I've got quite a few of those. I'm going to be doing research on different stories, so it's going to be fun, or it should be fun. I'm hoping it'll be fun, but y'all know, hashtag words are hard for me. So, okay, the first one is from a girlfriend of mine. And she said that when she was young, about 12 years old, she had woke up and there was a little girl standing at the side of her bed in a long white nightgown. She had braids and she had no idea who this little girl was. She'd never seen her before. She never had this experience with this little girl before. And she said she couldn't have been much older or any older than what she was. So about 12 years old. There wasn't really any interaction. She didn't talk to her. The little ghost girl didn't talk to her. It just scared the hee-haw out of her. And just like that, she was gone. I have had a similar story to that. So when I was younger, I'm going to say I was about, I don't know, in like first grade, however old that is. What is that, like 6, 7? We lived in this really bad part of town, and in a apartment complex called Greenway, which I don't think that they're there anymore. And one of my best girlfriends, she lived a couple apartments, like in the same little building, but a couple apartments down. And she was older than me. Her name was Tasha, and I just thought that she was like the coolest thing ever, right? And I wanted to be just like her because she was older, whatever. So I went to her house and we were having like a slumber party, a sleepover at her house, just me and her. And I kid you not. Okay, so she had a day bed. And in this day bed, it was up against the wall, right? Well, we thought it would be really cool if we turned it around to kind of make it look like a crib. So we did that, and we're sleeping. I have no idea what time this is. We wake up, or not we wake up. I wake up to somebody going tap, tap, tap on the top of my head, right? And I ignore it at first, and then I feel tap, tap, tap on the top of my head, and I was like, Tasha, stop. And I open my eyes. So when I'm laying down, I'm facing like the bars of the daybed. So it's like facing outward, not toward the wall, out towards the room. And I open my eyes. There was this old woman standing like this far from my face, super, super close. And she was older. She had on this flowery hat. And like you would think of people wearing like to church, you know, like years and years and years ago. And yeah, she didn't say anything at all. Nothing. She just stared at me. And I was frozen. I was so scared that I couldn't scream. I couldn't do anything. I was frozen right then and there. And then I was finally able to like close my eyes, and I opened them, and she was gone. So of course by then I was ready to like wake Tasha up and be like, what the crap? But I'm like 6 years old. So obviously I don't have a vocabulary to be like, you know, hello, freaking scary. So I wake her up, I'm like, Tasha, you know, and I tell her everything. And we ended up staying up all night and watching MTV videos. That was back in the day when MTV actually had music videos. And then I tell my mom about it, and she talked to her mom. And so my mom's name was Debbie, and her mom's name is Debbie. And so my mom talked to Debbie about it, and they found out, because I guess Debbie, her mom, had been having experiences too. And they've talked to the apartment people, and I guess there was a murder. Some old lady ended up getting killed. Get this, guys. She was beaten to death. This is horrible. Beaten to death with bricks in the pantry. It's horrible. That's absolutely freaking horrible. But yeah, so that's what happened with that story. Another story that my girlfriend told me, the one before this, she had just had her son and she was breastfeeding him. And she, you know, like when you wake up in the middle of the night and your baby's hungry, so you're going to breastfeed them. And you kind of just sit up and you plop them on there and you're just like, get full so we can go back to bed. So she did that and she ended up falling asleep. Right, she put the baby down. Baby was done. Put him back in his bassinet. I don't know what it was, but something. And she fell asleep sitting up. And she says she woke up. Okay, sorry about that. My daughter came in. So she felt somebody shake her, like legit. The hands on her, shaking her, right? But she didn't see anybody. And come to find out, her grandmother passed away about the same time as she felt all of that. Crazy, right? Okay, so another story that I have is with my husband. And so when he was younger, he was in baseball. Like he was really, really good at baseball. Like colleges were scouting him and, you know, whatever. Actually, this might have been during one of his football games. They used to call him Hollywood in high school. Like he was like the star athlete. I didn't go to school with him, just to kind of put that out there. I didn't know him then. I was up in Iowa at that time. Actually, I think it was part of when he was in football. So, he was down on the field and he sees his grandma up in the stands. And he's like, I remember waving at her. Like I saw her. I know that she was there. And he got done with the baseball or the football game and went up to his mom and was like, where's grandma? And she was like, I don't know. She's not here. And he was like, yeah, I saw her. She was up here. And this was like he wasn't a little kid. Like, it's not like he was, you know, maybe mistaken her. Like, no, she was there. And come to find out, she died when he saw her in the stand. Isn't that crazy? I think that's so awesome. I think that is so awesome that our loved ones are able to kind of say goodbye like that. When my mom passed away, I was in my grandparents' bedroom. And I remember I'm sitting there and I hear her go, Amber, like that. I swear to God I did. I swear. Y'all, I thought I was recording this whole time. Whole time I did my foundation. Whole time I was doing everything. My eyes are watering so bad today. Please excuse it. Allergies are horrible in Oklahoma this time of year. Like, absolutely horrible. So I'm going to start all the way over because I thought that I hit record and I did not. Okay. So I went and got stuff to sage my house. Because some crazy, crazy things were happening. And so I get there and she's like, you don't need sage, you need this, which I thought it was frankincense. But it didn't smell like frankincense, and it didn't smell like lavender, because she said that I needed more lavender and more frankincense in my home. But it didn't smell like it. And I was trying to get a hold of my like spiritual people, but they were answering the phone. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. So I want to get this done. Can you guys see how bad this eye is out watering? It's horrible. Okay, so I started the front door, the corner, the right corner, and then, you know, do the wafting thing. And I'm going through each room, doing the thing. And we get done, and my aunt was like, so how do you feel? And I was like, well, to be honest with you, like, I feel really sad, and I feel, oh my God, my eye is watering. I feel really sad, and I feel, kind of like dread. She's like, yeah, I don't feel good either. Like, I almost feel sick to my stomach. And I'm like, yeah, I totally know what you mean. And, so it's kind of pretty, huh? So we're like, okay, let's go outside, because you're supposed to leave the window shut for a little bit. Let it get into all like the little nooks and crannies and all of that. So that's what we do. We go outside, just chill for a minute. And then all of a sudden, you guys, I'm not even kidding you. All of these crows flock to my house. They're circling like the roof area, you know, the ceiling, the roof, the trees that are around me, just going, caw, caw, like going nuts. And I'm just like, this is not normal. Like, I had never seen anything like this before at my house. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to open up all the windows, and maybe it will release anything that may be going on in there. So I come in the house, and I open up all the windows, and I'm trying to do it pretty fast, because the feeling inside of here was very like ominous. Like, it wasn't a good feeling. And so I go back outside, and when I open up the front door to go outside, this huge gust of wind comes, like not from my house, I don't think, but because I didn't feel it like behind me as I was going outside, but this huge gust of wind comes, and then all of the crows like leave, right? So I was like, well, I'm going to take that as a good sign, that maybe it cleared whatever it is that was inside the house. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to put on my praise and worship, and I'm going to just clean a little bit, kind of get my mind off of it. Like, because when I am like really anxious or whatever, I clean. Like, it just really helps my mental to clean. So that's what I started doing. And I started hearing knocking on my walls. I started, I was hearing whispering, and it wasn't like I could understand what they were saying. And it wasn't my kids, because my kids were in the back and where my bedroom is. And like, I could hear them laughing and playing. It was not my kids. I promise you, it was not my kids. And it was like right here, right by me, but I couldn't understand anything that they were saying. And so then I ended up calling the place where I got my sage thing from. And I'm like, I'm freaking out. I had never done this before, ever. And I don't know if I did something wrong. Like, I just need someone to tell me that everything is fine, I did it right, and that this is normal. So she was like, first of all, you need to calm down. Okay. Oh, I should do a pink lip. I'm gonna do this with like a pink ombre. Okay. So, yeah, she was like, first of all, you need to calm down. This is normal. You know, did something in the house. It's going to stir things up. Don't freak out. It's normal. Calm down. You're fine. Like, calm it down, girlfriend. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, well, let me ask you a question. So when in our house, we have in the kitchen, it's like a dropped ceiling. So like that's where the lights are up above that like dropped ceiling thing. And I go, when my husband was replacing the lights in there, we noticed that there's scripture hand wrote. So like if you were to come from the garage into the kitchen, that's where it was. And she was like, is it Psalms? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, well, that's a whole nother story. You were out of your limit. And you need to come back in and talk to Shanna. She can help you. And at this point, I'm just thinking like, okay, they just want me to like pay to have Shanna come out, whatever. But it did freak me out. Like it did freak me out because as soon as we saw that in the, for the very first time anyways, I'm like, that's not normal to have that in like the entrance into the home. Like, who does that? So, I did not end up calling them back. The lady that I was talking to on the phone wasn't the lady who sold me what I thought was frankincense. Turns out to be that it was a mixture of two different kinds, which is great if you're wanting to like open yourself up to kind of like broaden, to learn more about your spiritual gifts. Obviously, I didn't want to do that. That's not what I asked for. So, it could have ended up being a lot worse than what it was. But it's actually been really, really quiet since I did it. I don't know if it's because I like acknowledged whatever it was or whatever, but like, I'm not upset about it, that it has been quiet. I don't expect it to stay quiet because it never does. But for now, it's been pretty quiet and I'm totally okay with that. So I'll keep you guys updated as more things happen. But this is my look. It's a little rainbow. Sorry, when I look at my screen, it makes my eyes go over here. And I need to keep looking at the camera. So I have to get used to this. We are going to call my new YouTube channel Beautifully Haunted because it's all going to be about beauty products and telling stories about like haunted houses, near-death experiences, reincarnation, just all kinds of different things. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any pointers, if you have any stories, I need to know your stories. I mean, I can go online and do all the research that I can to find other stories. But to hear them straight from you guys would be really, really awesome. It would help me out a lot. I'd be able to ask you questions and kind of just build it up. And hopefully we can make this a thing. I know a lot of people love to hear about ghost stories. Some people are kind of weirded out by it. They don't believe in ghosts, but it's still interesting to them. So I would really appreciate if you guys would like my page, subscribe, share this video that you're watching right now. As we do more, they will improve. Like I said, this is my very first video, so I'm so excited to be doing something that I absolutely love. I'm combining my two passions, makeup and ghosts. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I love all of you guys so much, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. Bye.